Good morning. It's Tuesday, March 2nd, coming to you live from Seoul. I'm Kim Dami, filling in for Kim Mo-gyun. Before we get started, these are the stories we're following at the top of the hour. The new school semester kicks off this morning here in South Korea, and many students, including high school seniors, will be attending class in person every day. COVID-19 vaccines continue to be rolled out worldwide, but the global virus tally has made a rebound after 6 straight weeks of decline. Minari, written and directed by a Korean-American, wins the 2021 Golden Globes Foreign Language Award. But critics say the American-produced drama deserves more, adding that criteria for such prestigious prizes should be re-evaluated. South Korea has added 344 new COVID-19 cases this morning, keeping the figure below 400 for 3 straight days. But it's too early to let our guard down, especially with students going back to school starting this Tuesday. And some of them will be attending class in person every day. We turn to our Choi Won-jung, who is currently at an elementary school here in Seoul. Won-jung, how's the atmosphere there?
Well, I mean, a mixture of excitement and nerves, and that's what's going on here right now. Today is a big day for younger students at Youngshin Elementary School because it's their first time coming to in-person classes. As you can see, some of the students are entering the school right now. It was a very different scene last year due to the spread of COVID-19. However, in January, the Education Ministry said it was time to bring these students back in-person classes. It's mainly because of the difficulty of keeping online classes for younger students and providing care services for them when their parents are at work. Now, the safety is still a key issue to ensure the students' safety. Prevention measures are in place throughout the school. The body temperature are checked for students and teachers when entering the school. Also, they all must wear masks in classroom even during the break time. To maintain social distancing, the classrooms are laid out differently this time, and students' desks have clear walls separating them in the classrooms.
Right, and the younger elementary schools are not the only ones headed back to school today, right?
That's right. So students in the kindergarten and then the 3rd grade in high school, and then students who need a special care are allowed to come back to school every day starting today. Now, the rest of the students will be attending schools a couple times a week, and the online classes are also available for them. However, if the social distancing level goes up to 2.5, 1/3 of the school's capacity will be used. If it goes up to highest level, every class will change to remote learning. Now, the ministry also said they will assign 2,000 contract teachers across the nation to help out students with the basic educational support during in-person classes. Like I said, today was the first day of allowing many in-person classes nationwide, and we'll see how this year classes will look like throughout the year. Reporting live from Youngshin Elementary School, back to you.
Thank you, Won-jung, for the report. And now, moving on, despite the continued worldwide inoculation drive against COVID-19, the World Health Organization says a global case tally has increased for the first time in 7 weeks. Our Kim Yo-sun tells us more.
Following 6 consecutive weeks of decline in global COVID-19 cases, the WHO notes the tally has veered back up.
But first time in 7 weeks, we have a COVID increase. Reported cases increased in 4 of WHO's 6 regions: the Americas, Europe, Southeast Asia, and the Eastern Mediterranean. So where we don't report increases in Africa and Western Pacific. This is disappointing, but not surprising.
Explaining that this is partly due to the relaxation of public health measures in many countries, the chief of the global health body urged the international community to remain vigilant. As many states in the U.S. are rolling back antivirus measures, the head of the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said this is not the time to do so, especially with the emergence of new variants.
These variants are a very real threat to our people and our progress. Now is not the time to relax the critical safeguards that we know can stop the spread of COVID-19 in our communities, not when we are so close. We have the ability to stop a potential 4th surge of cases in this country.
She also urged Americans to continue practicing prevention actions, including the wearing of face masks. Amid the rapid spread of the new variant across Brazil, the country reported over 30,000 COVID-19 fatalities in February alone. That's Brazil's second highest monthly death toll since the pandemic first began. While the country rolled out COVID-19 vaccines in mid-January, only 3% of its population have received shots so far. Kim Hyo-sun, Arirang News.
Marking the 102nd anniversary of the country's March 1st Independence Movement Day, President Moon Jae-in said Seoul is set to engage in talks with Tokyo. He said the Tokyo Olympics could be used as a leverage in resuming dialogue between the two nations. Our Kim Min-ji reports.
South Korea is ready to sit down for talks with Japan anytime, and the Tokyo Olympics could provide a chance to reopen dialogue between the two countries, as well as North Korea and the U.S., North Korea and Japan, and the two Koreas. That's President Moon Jae-in at a ceremony Monday marking the 102nd anniversary of the March 1st Independence Movement Day in Seoul.
과거에 발목 잡혀 있을 수는 없습니다. 역지사지의 자세로 머리를 맞대면 과거의 문제도 얼마든지 현명하게 해결할 수 있을 것이라 확신합니다.
His message to Japan was a key focal point given their long historical disputes, including Japan's use of forced labor and its sexual enslavement of Korean women, and the strongest yet in terms of its conciliatory tone in his 4 years in office.
Maybe South Korean government thinks that in order to continue the peace process in the Korean Peninsula, it should get along with the Biden government's policies, which means that it will deal with all the foreign policies, including the North Korea issues, with its allies. And in order to initiate any processes dealing with North Korea, there should be restoration of the alliance cooperations. And South Korea knows that, so maybe that's why it wants to recover the relationship with Japan.
Seeking to take a page from its 2018 Pyeongchang Winter Olympics, Seoul is pinning high hopes on the Tokyo Olympics to revitalize diplomacy with North Korea, despite uncertainty of the Games itself over the COVID-19 pandemic.
국민의 생명과 안전을 지키기 위한 동북아 방역 보건 협력체 참여를 시작으로 북한이 영내 국가들과 협력하고 교류하게 되길 희망합니다. 한반도와 동아시아의 상생과 평화의 물꼬를 트는 힘이 될 것입니다.
The annual event to commemorate the independence fighters' declaration for the country's freedom in 1919 from Japanese colonial rule was scaled down because of the pandemic. Kim Min-ji, Arirang News.
A petition has been started calling on people to boycott Mitsubishi products. Korean American members of community groups in California started the petition on change.org as Ramseyer, a Harvard professor who has been criticized for his unpopular depiction of comfort women, is the Mitsubishi professor of Japanese legal studies at Harvard Law School. The creators of the petition said to continue patronizing Mitsubishi would be to give a tacit endorsement to the outrageous and insulting claims made by Professor Ramseyer, who occupies the chair endowed by the Mitsubishi Corporation. So far, more than 1,300 people have signed the petition, while the target is 1,500. The Pentagon has again reaffirmed its stance that the Seoul-Washington joint military drills are necessary to maintain readiness. While spokesman John Kirby refrained from providing details on the resumption of joint exercises between the two allies at a briefing on Monday, he said such exercises are crucial for the Seoul-Washington alliance, which he described a linchpin for the region. Kirby added that such drills are always closely coordinated with South Korea. South Korea's industrial production fell in January for the first time in 8 months. According to Statistics Korea on Tuesday, the overall industrial output edged down 0.6% in January compared to the previous month. The fall was mainly due to a drop in service production and manufacturing of electronic components. But consumption was up 1.6%, the largest jump in 5 months. This was helped by strong sales of clothing and home appliances. Facility investment also rose by 6.2% a month. Myanmar's de facto civilian leader Aung San Suu Kyi has appeared for the first time since the military coup that ousted her last month. The 75-year-old is now facing fresh charges in courts. Our Lee Seung-jae has more.
Appearing at a court hearing via video conferencing on Monday, Myanmar's ousted leader Aung San Suu Kyi was hit with 2 more charges added to those filed against her after last month's coup.
Prosecution side added 2 more cases on Aung San Suu Kyi. One more case is the Section 67 of communication law, electronic law. That is concerning with those walkie-talkies as already charged under Section 8 of the Import-Export. Then the second is under Penal Code, Section 505B. Together with, he was charged together with President U Win Myint and Navy Law Chairman Dr. Miu Aung. The 3 accused, all combined.
The virtual court hearing was the first time the Nobel Peace Laureate has been seen since the military coup, when she, along with other party leaders, were detained. Suu Kyi was previously charged with illegally importing 6 walkie-talkies, as well as violating a natural disaster law by breaching COVID-19 protocols. Meanwhile, the military regime has reportedly recalled some 100 staff from missions in at least 19 countries. According to leaked documents, the regime has ordered home officials, including minister counselors, secretaries, as well as other embassy staff at missions in South Korea, the U.S., China, and others. The move came after a speech by Myanmar's UN envoy Yu Kyaw Mo-tun at the General Assembly in New York last Friday, where he condemned the coup and pled for the international community's help restoring democracy to Myanmar. Following his speech, the military dismissed the envoy and accused him of high treason. To discuss the situation in Myanmar, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations will on Tuesday hold a special meeting. Ministers will convene via video conference, and Myanmar's military representative will also take part to share their side of the story. The meeting comes as the international community has called on Myanmar's military to halt the use of lethal force against civilians and for the immediate release of President Win Myint, Aung San Suu Kyi, and others. Lee Seung-jae, Arirang News.
The 2021 Golden Globe for Best Motion Picture in the Foreign Language category has been awarded to Lee Isaac Chung's American drama Minari. However, many expressed dismay that Minari was not in contention for the Best Picture prize, as it was not eligible due to what some watchers say are unfair language requirements. Our Choi Min-jung reports.
Minari, a tender film about a Korean-American immigrant family in the 1980s, has won the Best Foreign Language Film at the Golden Globes. Written by Korean-American Lee Isaac Chung and co-produced by A24 and Brad Pitt's Plan B Entertainment, the movie secured the glorious trophy on Sunday, beating 4 other competitors. Chung's semi-autobiographical tale portrays the life of a Korean immigrant family that moves to a rural farm to achieve their own American dream. The movie stars Steven Yeun, Han Ye-ri, and veteran Korean actress Yoon Yo-jung. Although the honor went to Minari, the Golden Globes was slammed for classifying the Best Drama-worthy film under the foreign language category. This comes as the film was not eligible for entry into the Best Picture race, as it failed to meet the requirement of featuring 50% English dialogue. The New York Times criticized that the movie was forced to be placed under the foreign category, despite being produced by an American in America and financed by U.S. firms. The Times also pointed out that the cast of Minari did not receive any nominations for acting, although they were eligible. CNN reported that the award sparked serious questions about racism as well. According to the report, a sociologist and author of a book on Hollywood actors and racism said that people assume you're not from the States if you have an Asian face. Watchers also criticized that the criteria for such prestigious prizes should be re-evaluated. As much as many people were dismayed, many are hoping that great films like Minari will be given greater opportunity without shortcomings in the future. Choi Min-jung, Arirang News.
Good morning. The eastern region of Gangwon-do province is on high alert due to heavy snow. Since yesterday, Michiryong has seen more than 80 centimeters of snowfall. Seoraksan Mountain and surrounding areas also saw a massive amount of snowfall, and 5 to 10 centimeters more could fall in those regions through this afternoon, so please drive and walk with extra care. Meanwhile, yesterday's precipitation helped to ease the dryness in the air, while readings will not drop much though, but colder winds will blow in this afternoon and the chill will stay through tomorrow morning. Then highs will be 2 to 9 degrees lower than yesterday. Chuncheon will only make it to 4 degrees Celsius, but sunnier skies expected in the afternoon with good air quality nationwide. Temperature fluctuations will carry on this week, so take well care of yourself, while southern regions and Jeju will see another band of precipitation at the end of the week. That's Korea for you, and here's a look at the weather conditions around the world.
That'll do it for us at this hour. We'll be back with more of the day's headlines at noon Korea time, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching.